Hey, what's up, friends and family and friends? Thank you for tuning in as we close in on 2019, and I close in on my last couple of videos with you all, doing these daily live streams, which I've been doing all year. And I thought I'd do a little departure from what I've mainly been talking about this year, which has mainly been the news. You know, when I first started doing these videos, I was like, what am I going to do for a video a day? Is it going to be like skits or comedy or what? And it turned out to just be me talking about the events of the year. And unfortunately, many of the events this year were negative or were really divisive and things like that. So I thought, you know, for these last couple of days, maybe as long as nothing really crazy or big happens that I'd like to talk about, I'd talk about things that, you know, weren't really news, but maybe some sort of advice. Maybe that's what I'll do for 2019. Maybe instead of talking about the news, I'll keep doing this daily thing where I, you know, talk and talk and talk and talk, but I actually look at, you know, different things like advice. So I was actually looking for news today, and I stumbled upon this article in Psychology Today. It came out yesterday on Christmas Day, and it said, stop doing these 3 things and you'll be happier. It's kind of like one of those, hey, if you take this pill, you know, you'll be successful somewhere, you know, stuff like that. But this says happiness is easier to find if you don't look in the wrong places, and they give you these 3 steps: chasing after it. So stop chasing after things, stop negatively comparing yourself to others, and then the last one is stop not having an attitude of gratitude. And I think that they're all really good steps. So I'm going to read about this one. It says, the bottom line to not chasing after things comes from Sean Aker, who has a great TED Talk entitled How to Be Happy. I've not seen this TED Talk, but maybe I'll check it out. His bottom line and highly compelling message is to stop looking outside of yourself for happiness. Expecting a new purchase to bring you sustainable happiness is misguided. And this is one thing for me. I cannot buy something without immediately getting buyer's remorse. The moment I pick something up and I look at it, I get buyer's remorse and I put it down. Like, for some reason, it just doesn't work for me. Sure, it is easy to believe that getting that promotion, pay raise, or being the top salesperson at the office will make you happy, but happiness solely based on achievements does not last long. And unfortunately, we've kind of been taught that throughout our entire lives. When you do well as a baby and as a child, you get praise, you're happy, right? So it's usually because we did good for someone else and they praise us, and it feels like an achievement, and you get A's in school, you get awards, you get, you know, pizza parties, all these great things. We are literally bred from the beginning of life to, you know, look for other people to help us to feel happy. Stop doing that. Stop doing that to your kids, I guess, is also a good message here. Similarly, the fallacious, I like that they used the word fallacious, the fallacious notion that getting the next good grade or losing 10 pounds will bring you happiness does not fly with reality. And for that matter, expecting a relationship partner to make you happy is not realistic or fair either. Yes, this is basically saying that happiness starts on the inside. How can you be happy with yourself? That unfortunately it's not given to you in this article, but I think there are many ways that you can make yourself happy. One thing that I found is just helping others. As a matter of fact, on Christmas Day, my wife and I and our family, the night before that, on Christmas Eve, we packed bags full of sandwiches, oranges, some snacks, and water. And on Christmas Day, after we went to our church service, we gave that out to homeless people in Metro Detroit. And that actually brought me a lot of happiness, you know, just to help others that are less fortunate. And I think that's the main thing. You know, when you look at like Maslow's hierarchy of needs and all the things that we need to feel that we are, you know, satisfied, those are things that also will bring you a certain level of happiness to, you know, feel. And I think the highest one is feeling needed and giving of yourself and not being selfish. So instead of chasing after, you know, happiness outwardly, we should just look to search inwardly. What are we really good at? What are we good at that, you know, no one really needs to know about, that we don't need to receive accolades for, anything like that? What can we give of ourselves? When you find that one thing that you can give of yourself that makes you feel valued as a person, I think that's it. And it's not necessarily the grades. It's not necessarily something that people can say, oh, he did a good job and give you an award on. It's looking inside and saying, where am I comfortable in my own skin? So that's my advice for that one. The second one is negatively comparing yourself to others. And this is so hard to do in today's day and age with technology and social media running rampant all over the place. It is literally impossible not to compare yourself to others. I'm pissed off that I was not Colin O'Brady, that I was not the first person to cross the Antarctic, the first American at that, the first person at all to cross the Antarctic solo, you know, unguided or anything. But Colin O'Brady, congrats to you. I thought I'd give you a shout out. Great job, my man. I was following him on Instagram. If you haven't followed him, definitely check out his Instagram page. But anyway, it's so easy to compare ourselves to others. We see it on Instagram, on Facebook, on whatever. You see it when you're, going to the supermarket and you see like this really, like you look at a Wheaties box and you see whoever, Kevin Durant on there, and you're like, I wish I could be a basketball star and be on a Wheaties box. So many things. We see it, when we're watching TV shows, and, I wish I was Tony Stark or as smart as him so that I could create this iron suit. Just so many things. So if you frequently compare yourself to others, you will make yourself miserable. There will always be a faster gunslinger sooner or later. Most professional athletes with healthy expectations know that their outstanding achievements and records will likely be broken one day, unless you're Tom Brady. I don't know if anyone's actually going to break Tom Brady's many records. It's interesting as we watch Peyton Manning. I don't know if you watch football that much, but Drew Brees is breaking a lot of Peyton Manning's records, and you continue to see Peyton Manning like tongue-in-cheek. It's not real, but he's like kind of calling out Drew Brees, saying, stop breaking my records. But it's going to happen. Along these lines, constantly comparing yourself to a seemingly more successful colleague, family member, peer, and that's where it stops. But also just anyone will leave you devaluing yourself and feeling empty inside. And if you find it hard, the best thing to do is just to disconnect from social media at all, completely. I actually found myself doing that, disconnecting from people, not necessarily because I felt like they had more than what I was doing, but sometimes because they were on the same path as me, and I just didn't want to feel like I was, directly competing with them or in a race with them. I wasn't talking to them. They weren't like building me up. I was just constantly looking at their social media feeds and saying, wow, I want to go to that place or that location, or wow, why am I not doing that in my career? Just a whole bunch of things that, while they do help you to be motivated, at the same time they can also hinder your own happiness if you're not doing those things. So yeah, definitely stop comparing yourself to others. And then this last one, not having an attitude of gratitude. This one's pretty simple. Countless studies have shown that being grateful leads to happiness. I have this whoever wrote this article, Dr. Jeff, who I should probably give shout outs to, Dr. Jeffrey Bernstein, who is a PhD. Thank you for writing this article, which I am now reading from. But he says, countless studies have shown that being grateful leads to happiness. I have a sign in my office given to me by a very insightful client. It says it is not happy people who are thankful. It is thankful people who are happy. Gratitude helps people feel more positive emotions, relish good experiences, improves their health, and helps them deal with adversity and builds strong relationships. And I can't see how any of that is incorrect. The more you bask in what you have versus what you think you should have, the happier you will feel. And again, this sort of goes with number 2. A lot of us in this day and age of social media, where we see everyone with everything, especially superstars. I mean, we have instant access to so many superstars' lives now. We can see Kevin Hart celebrating his Native American Cowboys and Indians birthday party with his children, and then we can bash him because he's using Indians, Native Americans in the wrong way. But regardless, you can look at The Rock and see you can see all these people and all the things that they have, and forget just to be thankful for the fact that you can breathe, just to be thankful for the fact that you can see or you can hear if you're listening to this or seeing this. Like, so many things that we can just be thankful for and grateful for. We can be thankful that we live in a day and age where we're not in a third world country struggling just to get water, having to walk for miles and miles in some city in South Sudan because we don't have access to clean running water. So we have to send our wives and our daughters to go and hope that they don't get attacked. Like, there are so many things to be thankful for. So many things, as I think back over all the things that I talked about this year, to be thankful that I'm not in those situations. So count your blessings. Be grateful. Be thankful for everything that you have. Whenever someone opens a door for you, just be thankful and grateful. The best thing that can happen like this is it helps to build strong relationships when you just say thank you. I mean, so many of us don't do it. We're in this rat race, and we're rushing from point A to point B to point C to point, trying to get to point Z and alpha, omega, and on and on and on. We actually don't just take the time out to say thank you to someone. So I think it's really important. Stop feeling entitled and you will be happier. For example, instead of saying I deserve to be happy, how about saying I appreciate my life and value what I have already. So again, these are some great nuggets of advice, but I would love to know, do you have anything else that you would like to add to this? What are other things that you could stop doing in 2019 that will help you and all of us to be happier. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Always like and subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow. Just a couple more days in 2018, and then we'll be in 2019, and all of our worries will still be here. So find a way to find happiness inside, so that no matter what else happens outside, you'll still be happy. And I should probably say this, if you are not a spiritual person, God is like number one. If you are, like, that is like the center. Like, if you can center yourself in that, no matter what happens around you, you can always find happiness. So that to me is like really number one. But of course, this is like psychology. These are scientists, so you're not going to get that type of advice. But obviously, that's been the one thing that's helped to center me is God. And then there are many other things. So I would love to hear what you all have to say. I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.